are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again. And man, today we have a true honor talking to Coach Bill Courtney of the Oscar-winning documentary Undefeated. And he is the leader of an Army of Normal Folks movement. Man, first and foremost, Coach Bill, how you doing today?
I'm groovy, man. Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. So first off, what inspired you to initiate an Army of Normal Folks movement, and what was the main objective?
Well, to understand it, I believe that there's viaducts and places and cities all across the country. In Memphis, my hometown, and all across the country, where when you're driving by in the car and you're thinking, man, this is not where I want my car to break down. This is not where I want to have a flat tire. And as you're passing those areas, you kind of look down over the edge of the viaduct and you see the poverty and the disenfranchisement, and you think, somebody ought to do something about that down there one day, and you say it as if that sentiment matters, which it doesn't. And my suggestion is we start cocking that rearview mirror about 40 degrees to the left and look at ourselves and say, maybe I ought to do something about that, about our cultural and societal problems, because I just don't think fancy people talking big words on CNN and Fox are ever going to bring us together and change any of the things that are the most sick about our culture. I think government has proven woefully inadequate. And I think it's pretty obvious that if each of us do what we can in our communities to fix what ails us, we can create an army of normal folks who can change the trajectory of our country, and we can quit pointing fingers thinking, all these other people, quote, ought to be doing something about that. I think it's us that ought to do something about that. And so we've started a podcast highlighting people who do exactly what I'm talking about, who get into their communities and do extraordinary things. And I'm not talking about ordained, popular people who everybody knows, just normal folks doing extraordinary things.
And speaking of doing extraordinary things, you were a former high school coach, and it was documented in an Oscar-winning film. With that experience, what have you learned from that? How powerful an individual can make such an impact in their community?
First, you just got to go across the street. You just got to, if you see a place of need, you don't need a 10-point action plan. You just got to start. And so it taught me that the most important thing is just taking the first step. The other thing it taught me, candidly, is the payoff is you get 100 times more out of it than you put in it. It's not the work that I did at Manassas that you see in the film Undefeated. That to me is the most inspiring. It's how my world changed as a result of my relationship with the kids at Manassas and what I learned and my personal growth. And that's kind of the payoff when you get out of your comfort zone and you jump into areas of need and you match your abilities with your passion to go fill a need in society. The payoff is you'll get so much more out of it than you put into it because of the things that effort teaches you.
Once again, we're talking to Coach Bill Courtney and all about an Army of Normal Folks. When you look at yourself being the owner of Classic American Hardwoods, Inc., when it comes to business leaders, how are they able to set themselves apart in terms of having the ability to bring about that change in their community?
I think fundamentally the tenets and characteristics that you operate your life with should not change. That's whether it's in your marriage, raising your children, in your community, in your business, coaching, ball, whatever. The basic fundamentals of character, commitment, integrity, the dignity of hard work, those things carry you in all facets of your life. And I think if you see a successful coach or successful business person or somebody having success in society, they're employing those same fundamentals and tenets in all aspects of their life. And if you walk that, your players, your children, your employees, they see it, and when they emulate it, then those tenets are reflected in their actions. And I really do believe when you're talking about an army of normal folks, if it can be a huge growth pattern as more and more people see more and more people doing this kind of work. And so it's our goal with the podcast to shine light on stories of people doing amazing things, to then inspire more people that are just normal folks to do amazing things in their society.
And with this movement, someone listening right now, and maybe they feel like they're overwhelmed with all the issues that are going on with society and life, what are some things that they can focus on to maybe not worry about the negatives, but how they can actually contribute?
We can be, and when I say the word progressive, I don't mean politically. We can be a forward-thinking, forward-evolving, progressive society without abandoning the core principles that got us here in the first place. We can be that. And whether you're black, white, green, yellow, Christian, Jewish, agnostic, Democrat, Republican, moderate, all of the divisiveness that the media and politics can continue to put on us, and we find ourselves separated into one sect of group or the other. All of that goes away because we can all rally around the idea that simple kindness and doing work in our community makes us all better. And so if you're overwhelmed with all of what is presented to you in the media, this is also a kind of a safe place to go. Just be part of an army of normal folks. We're all normal. We all have different thoughts and beliefs, but we can all band together around this idea of let's serve in our communities.
We're talking to Coach Bill Courtney this morning. Last quick question for you. Those listening right now, how can they find more information or sign up to be a participant in the Army of Normal Folks?
Go to normalfolks.us. You can listen to the podcast there. You can subscribe. You can download, listen to an Army of Normal Folks on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google. Just listen in, see what we're about, subscribe, join up, and I assure you that over the course of the year, with all the shows we're doing, you will hear something that inspires you, that you hear and you think, hey, I can do that. And it's just the first step to get involved. And if we create thousands or tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of people listening and joining this, I genuinely do think we can change the trajectory of our culture.
An Army of Normal Folks. Join Coach Bill Courtney today on this amazing movement. I want to thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.